I like my ship. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of And Enjoy the Show. For my very first official video, since I'm behind on quite a few recent big announcements that have come out in the film business lately, I'm going to be kind of backtracking from my first few videos since I wasn't doing this when they were released. I'm going to start with something that I have a lot of opinions about, and that is the new Star Trek Beyond trailer. This is the latest Star Trek from the Abrams crew of Kirk and Spock and the gang. This is not directed by Abrams. It's directed by Justin Lin, who did Fast and Furious 4, 5, and 6. So this is what I'll be doing with trailers as they come out, is I'm going to watch the trailer for the very first time on camera so you can see my reactions to it, and then after the trailer I will, give my impressions that I got from the trailer. I have already seen this trailer. This one, it was kind of a good thing that it wasn't the first time I was watching it, because that would have been a very interesting video. But things have come out that will make this a more all-encompassing video related to Star Trek. So, without further ado, let's get started. Play.
Is that music?
It's a good choice.
Hey, well played.
We got no ship. No crew. How are we gonna get out of this one?
We'll find hope in the impossible. Well, at least I won't die alone.
Well, that's just typical.
Let's hope this doesn't get messy.
This is where it begins, Captain. This is where the frontier pushes back.
What the hell is this?
I know why you're here. Why we are all here.
Okay, let's never do that again.
Alright, so that was the Star Trek Beyond trailer, and where do I start? For those who may not know, I consider myself a Trekkie, or Trekker, as the proper, that is technically the proper, Trekker is the proper, but no one uses it for some reason. They all go by Trekkie, the cute name. But I consider myself a Trekker. However, I'm not one of the hardcore. I've never seen all of the original series or Next Generation. I've mainly grown up on the movies. I really enjoy the Star Trek films, the 2, 3, 4, and 6. That being said, I have been a supporter of the Abrams Star Trek. I do have to admit, Abrams has absolutely no clue how space works, or even how, Star Trek's physics works, but that's not on review here. Okay, so the pros. There aren't a lot. I do like that it looks like they're planet-side a lot. There wasn't a lot of planet-side in the previous Abrams films. I do like the teleporting jokes with the, not teleporting. I do like the beaming jokes with McCoy and Spock. I am curious about who this mysterious warrior alien lady. I am curious why there seems to be a lot of Starfleet members in that one shot. They're all in a big line. And it also looks like another Federation outpost is being attacked by these same little things that are attacking the Enterprise. And I love Idris Elba, who plays the main villain in this movie, and I love everything he does, so I'm very excited about that. Justin Lin does know how to keep things action-packed and moving forward. His films are the ones I like the most from the Fast and Furious, so there is that, but at the same time, there's a lot to not like if you're a Star Trek fan like me. Like, why is there a motorcycle? I'm assuming this planet isn't nowhere near planet Earth, and motorcycles are kind of a thing of the past. What is a motorcycle doing in this film on a random planet? An old school motorcycle. So everyone always makes the joke that Star Trek is about a bunch of guys around a table discussing politics and debating. And Star Trek has always been about something more than just action. The thing about the Star Trek Beyond trailer is it's heavy action. So we see we've got the Beastie Boys Sabotage song, which granted is part of the Abrams canon because it was in the first Star Trek when Kirk is driving the Corvette. That's what's playing on the radio. But it gives off the tone that this Star Trek movie is going to be more on the action side, especially when they throw up Justin Lin, the director of the Fast and Furious. And that's what the trailer looks like. It looks like Fast and Furious in space. Which would be fine if it wasn't Star Trek. But the thing that really gets under our skin that a lot of people don't realize, normally this probably wouldn't be as big a deal, but this year, 2016, marks the 50th anniversary of the franchise. It's a milestone. So this movie is the milestone movie. It's the tribute movie. It's the movie that is supposed to reflect the franchise, and we get this trailer that looks like Fast and Furious in space and not Star Trek. And so a lot of us are up in arms and quite mad about this trailer. My biggest problem is I can understand that they need action. The Abrams franchise has always had action. Now, this trailer has not been well received at all by Star Trek fans. In fact, it's been very vocally negative. And even non-Star Trek fans are talking poorly of this. It's just not a good trailer. Doesn't hook you in, and honestly shows those of us who care that it makes it look like, well, why'd we even bother to hope that it'd be any good? It's just going to be an action fest. So it has come to my attention that my favorite part of the Abrams Prize universe is Simon Pegg, who plays Scotty in the new Abrams universe. And I'm a big fan of his. I love all his movies that he's a part of, and I just think he's a great actor, and he's a great screenwriter, and he is as big of a Star Trek fan as it gets. And I forgot that he is a co-writer on this film. And he was asked, while walking a red carpet for Star Wars, what he thought. There still may be hope for this film.
About the Star Trek trailer as well that we've just seen. What are your thoughts on it, and what do you think the reaction has been to it so far?
It was very action-packed. It was surprising. I found it to be kind of the marketing people sort of saying, everybody come and see this film. It's full of action and fun, when there's a lot more to it than that. I didn't love it because I know there's a lot more to the film. There's a lot more story and a lot more character stuff and a lot more what I would call Star Trek stuff. And they've got to bring a big audience in. They've got to bang the drum. To the Star Trek fans, I'd say hang in there, be patient.
We'll stick with you, mate. We'll stick with you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
As his reaction, which you can see right here, this is a man who put his heart and soul into his script. You can see it. You can see it in his eyes. You can see in the way he's trembling that he's very disappointed in the trailer. So even the writer of the film is disappointed in the trailer. He's almost desperate and nervous that people are going to take this trailer and not go see the movie that he's worked on. And I have utmost faith in Simon Pegg that if he says that it's going to have more Star Trek stuff and that we should hang in there, I believe him. Just when I thought that wasn't enough, the director, Justin Lin, himself, has come out and responded to the trailer saying that it wasn't representing the film they had made. Now, I'm not going to read the whole article. I'm going to post a link in the annotations right here. I wanted to share at least this one part that gives me kind of a little bit more hope that there's more to it than just the action. And what he said, this is a little bit long. says, what would happen if you go on a 5-year journey and you're trying to not only explore but also maybe introduce other people to your way of thinking? What would that mean? What are the consequences of that? You're spreading a philosophy you think is great, and there are going to be any philosophies that counter you. That was something I thought about since I was a kid, and we got to explore that. I'm going to use a sport analogy, so forgive me. I can tell you what a great athlete I am, what a great basketball player I am, but when I step on the court, you're going to know very quickly whether I'm any good. In a way, I feel like it's easy to preach what the Federation is about, but you're supposed to act. But what happens when you're on your heels? How do you react? Those comments do give me hope that this script is a little bit more than just an action fest and a survival story stranded on a planet. It will actually, talk about political, not just political, but also character motivations. It'll be character development that we've actually never really seen in a Star Trek film, which could be a very good approach if done well to being worthy of being called the 50th anniversary milestone movie. But it all depends on how they approach it. So, still holding out reservation. I'm not going to praise the film, but I do have a little bit more hope. I am curious to see what another trailer will look like, because after this backlash, I'm really wondering if Paramount's like, oh, okay, we need to reapproach our marketing. But it's all curious. I know I've talked on long enough, so I'm just going to end here. But I want to know what you guys thought about the Star Trek Beyond. I mean, I've got a lot of opinions. And I'm sorry for the long video, but this is just something I'm really passionate about. I love Star Trek. It makes me feel good. It makes me happy, and I want the 50th anniversary movie to be it won't be the best, most likely, but I want it to be the best that they could make it. Do you agree with some of those views, or what did you think of the comments of the filmmakers? I'm really interested to know your guys' thoughts, and please share them with. But as with anything that you go and watch, whether it be a video game or a movie, just always remember to enjoy the show. And I'll see you next time.